On January 16, 2025, Marc Andreessen, a prominent billionaire investor and co-founder of the Silicon Valley venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz, participated in an in-depth discussion with Peter Robinson on the show Uncommon Knowledge. During this interview, Andreessen articulated his concerns regarding China's manufacturing dominance and the implications for U.S. competitiveness in critical technological sectors. China's manufacturing dominance. Andreessen highlighted several key areas where Chinese manufacturing has outpaced U.S. capabilities, particularly focusing on drones, electric vehicles, and robotics. He expressed alarm over the fact that over 90% of the drones used by the U.S. military are manufactured in China. He described the drone market as not just a product line but an entire ecosystem that China controls, from supply chains to the components required for drone production. Drones. Andreessen emphasized that the global consumer drone market is overwhelmingly dominated by Chinese manufacturers, which also supply military drones. He noted that the entire supply chain for drones is heavily reliant on Chinese technology, which poses significant risks for U.S. companies trying to compete in this space. He specifically mentioned that U.S. drone companies have faced sanctions from China, particularly regarding battery supplies, further highlighting the interconnectedness and vulnerabilities of the supply chains. Electric vehicles. In the automotive sector, Andreessen pointed out that China has made substantial strides in electric and self-driving vehicle manufacturing. He drew comparisons between the Chinese automotive supply chain and the traditional German model, noting that while the German ecosystem focuses on internal combustion vehicles, the Chinese system is geared towards electric and automated technologies. This shift has enabled Chinese manufacturers to produce high-quality vehicles at significantly lower prices, often one-third or one-fourth of the cost of comparable Western models. Robotics. Andreessen acknowledged that while the U.S. still leads in software and R&D for robotics, China has established itself as a manufacturing powerhouse in this field. He underscored the importance of manufacturing capabilities to support advancements in military and technological applications, suggesting that the U.S. must prioritize building its own manufacturing base to remain competitive. Political context and strategic recommendations. Throughout the interview, Andreessen expressed concerns about the current U.S. administration's approach to technology and manufacturing. He criticized the Biden administration's regulatory policies, which he believes hinder American technological advancement and manufacturing competitiveness. He called for a cohesive America First strategy under a potential Trump 2.0 administration to effectively respond to China's rise. Andreessen argued that a fragmented approach to technology and manufacturing, one that oscillates between hostility towards the domestic tech industry and attempts to compete internationally, will not suffice. He called for a unified national strategy that prioritizes investments in manufacturing and technology to counter China's advancements. Conclusion. In summary, Marc Andreessen's remarks during the interview illuminated a growing concern among industry leaders about the implications of China's manufacturing supremacy for U.S. economic and military strength. He urged for a strategic re-evaluation of the U.S. approach to technology and manufacturing, advocating for policies that would bolster American competitiveness in critical areas such as drones, electric vehicles, and robotics. As the geopolitical landscape continues to evolve, Andreessen's insights reflect a broader discourse on the need for a robust and coherent strategy to navigate the challenges posed by China's rapid technological ascendance. Marc Andreessen's discussion on China's manufacturing dominance reveals several counterintuitive points that challenge common perceptions about the landscape of global manufacturing and technological prowess. Here are some key insights. 1. China's drone market control. It may seem surprising that the majority of consumer drones and military drones used by the U.S. military come from China, with Andreessen claiming over 90% are manufactured there. This statistic runs counter to the belief that the U.S. maintains a technological edge in all military and defense-related technologies. The implication is that the U.S. is heavily reliant on a foreign competitor for critical military technology. which could undermine national security. 2. Cost competitiveness of Chinese electric vehicles. Andreessen argues that Chinese electric vehicles (EVs) are not only comparable in quality to Western vehicles but are also priced at a third or a fourth of the cost. This challenges the assumption that higher prices are synonymous with better quality, suggesting that the Chinese automotive industry has effectively redefined market dynamics through cost innovation while maintaining quality standards. 3. Robotics and AI development. While it's widely believed that the U.S. leads in software and research and development in robotics, Andreessen points out a stark disparity in manufacturing capabilities. This suggests that while the U.S. excels in theory and design, it lacks the practical infrastructure necessary to produce these advancements at scale. This revelation contradicts the notion that being a leader in innovation automatically correlates with dominance in manufacturing. For political influence on technological growth, Andreessen's call for a cohesive U.S. strategy to compete with China highlights a counterintuitive relationship between government policy and technological advancement. He suggests that the current administration's regulatory approach may stifle American technological innovation, which runs counter to the commonly held belief that regulation always serves to protect and promote domestic industries. Instead, he argues it could be detrimental, allowing competitors like China to advance unchallenged. 5. Ecosystem comparisons. The comparison of Chinese and German manufacturing ecosystems challenges the narrative that traditional Western manufacturing practices are superior. Andreessen asserts that the Chinese supply chain is more adept at producing components for modern technologies such as electric and self-driving vehicles, whereas German companies are still focused on traditional internal combustion engines. This suggests that adaptability and forward-thinking strategy may be more crucial than legacy practices in maintaining manufacturing leadership. 6. Implications of sanction strategies. The discussion on sanctions between the U.S. and China reveals a complex interdependence in supply chains that many may not recognize. For instance, while the U.S. imposes sanctions on AI chips going to China, China retaliates by sanctioning American drone companies over battery supplies. This dynamic challenges the idea that sanctions are a straightforward tool for achieving geopolitical goals. Instead, they can lead to unexpected vulnerabilities for the sanctioning party. 7. The role of political leadership. Andreessen's assertion that presidents matter highlights a counterintuitive aspect of the tech landscape. Political leadership can significantly influence technological competitiveness and strategy. This idea contradicts the belief that the tech industry operates independently of political forces, suggesting that governmental direction is crucial in maintaining competitive advantages in manufacturing and technology. These insights from Marc Andreessen's commentary on China's manufacturing dominance reveal a complex interplay of technological capability, market dynamics, and political influence that challenges conventional wisdom about global competition and the future of American manufacturing. Marc Andreessen's discussion about China's manufacturing dominance highlights several critical points that many may overlook, particularly regarding the implications of this dominance on U.S. technological and military capabilities. Here are the significant aspects of Andreessen's commentary along with their importance. 1. Monopoly in drone manufacturing. Andreessen notes that China has effectively monopolized the global consumer drone market, with over 90% of U.S. military drones manufactured in China. This statistic is alarming not just for its economic implications but also for national security. The reliance on Chinese-made drones indicates a vulnerability in U.S. defense capabilities, as any geopolitical tension could disrupt supply chains. The entire ecosystem surrounding drone manufacturing, including critical components, is under Chinese control, which gives China leverage over American companies and military operations. 2. Advancements in electric and autonomous vehicles. Andreessen emphasizes China's rapid progress in electric and self-driving vehicle production. He points out that Chinese manufacturers are producing vehicles that match the quality of Western cars but at a fraction of the price. This not only challenges American automotive companies but also threatens to shift the global automotive market in favor of China. The ability to produce high-quality vehicles affordably can lead to a significant export advantage for China, potentially undermining U.S. jobs and the broader economy. 3. Robot manufacturing leadership. While acknowledging that the U.S. leads in robotics software and research and development, Andreessen argues that America lacks the manufacturing capacity to compete with China in producing robots. This is crucial because robotics is not only a key component of many industries but also a foundational technology for future military applications. The inability to manufacture robots domestically could hinder the U.S. military's operational capabilities and technological advancements. For political and strategic concerns, Andreessen expresses concern over the current U.S. administration's regulatory approach to technology, which he believes stifles innovation and hampers the growth of American tech companies. He advocates for a cohesive America First strategy to counter China's rise. The significance of this is profound. Without a clear strategy, the U.S. risks falling further behind in critical technology sectors, which could have long-term repercussions for national security and economic stability. 5. Supply chain interdependencies. Andreessen's insights into the interconnected nature of supply chains across different industries, drones, cars, and robots underscore the complexity of the issue. The dependency on Chinese components such as batteries for drones is a critical vulnerability. This interconnectedness means that a disruption in one area can have cascading effects across multiple sectors, further complicating the U.S.'s ability to respond effectively. 6. Call for a unified strategy. The overarching theme of Andreessen's discussion is the urgent need for a unified response to counteract China's growing technological and manufacturing capabilities. He criticizes the fragmented approach of the current administration, suggesting that this lack of coordination is detrimental to U.S. interests. The significance lies in the idea that without a comprehensive strategy, individual efforts may be undermined, leading to ineffective responses to China's advances. In summary, Andreessen's comments illuminate the multifaceted challenges posed by China's manufacturing dominance, particularly in terms of national security, economic competitiveness, and technological innovation. The implications of these challenges extend beyond mere economic competition. They touch on foundational aspects of U.S. military preparedness and global leadership in technology. Addressing these issues with a coherent strategy is not just advisable but essential for maintaining the U.S.'s competitive edge in an increasingly complex global landscape. 1. China's dominance in the drone market. Marc Andreessen highlights China's overwhelming control over the global consumer drone market, noting that over 90% of drones used by the U.S. military are manufactured in China. This indicates a significant strategic vulnerability for the U.S., as the entire supply chain for drones, including critical components, is largely dependent on Chinese manufacturing. This situation raises concerns about national security and the ability of U.S. companies to compete effectively against Chinese firms that can leverage government support and favorable policies. 2. Advancements in electric and autonomous vehicles. Andreessen points out that China has made remarkable strides in the electric vehicle (EV) and autonomous vehicle sectors, producing cars that match the quality of Western vehicles but at a fraction of the price. He compares the Chinese automotive supply chain to the traditional German model, emphasizing that China's ecosystem is tailored to modern technologies, unlike the focus on combustion engines in Germany. This shift not only disrupts the automotive market but also poses a broader challenge to U.S. innovation in a key industry. 3. Leadership in robotics. While acknowledging that the U.S. leads in robotics software and research and development, Andreessen expresses concern that the U.S. lacks the manufacturing capacity to keep pace with China's advancements in robotics. He argues that the integration of robotics into military applications in commercial sectors is critical, and the U.S. must address its manufacturing shortcomings to maintain a competitive edge in future technologies. For political and strategic implications, Andreessen criticizes the Biden administration's regulatory policies, suggesting they hinder the growth of the U.S. tech industry and fail to provide a coherent strategy to counter China's rise. He calls for a unified America First approach, particularly under potential future Trump administration policies, to develop a competitive response to China's technological advancements. This point underscores the intersection of technology manufacturing and national policy, indicating that effective governance is vital to maintaining U.S. competitiveness on the global stage. 1. The rise of Japan's manufacturing in the 1980s. In the latter half of the 20th century, Japan emerged as a manufacturing powerhouse, particularly in the automotive and electronics sectors. Companies like Toyota and Sony became synonymous with quality and innovation, challenging American firms like Ford and General Motors. The U.S. responded to this challenge with the Japan Incorporated debate, which raised concerns over trade imbalances and the need for a strategic response. The U.S. government implemented policies to bolster its manufacturing sector, including trade protection measures and investment in technology and workforce training. 2. The competitive threat of South Korea in electronics. In the 1990s and early 2000s, South Korea's Samsung and LG rose to prominence as leading global players in the electronics market, particularly in semiconductors and consumer electronics. This shift put significant pressure on American companies like Intel and Apple. The U.S. government and industry responded with increased investment in research and development as well as strategic partnerships to enhance competitiveness. This situation led to a broader discussion about the importance of innovation and manufacturing capabilities in maintaining global leadership. 3. The challenge of Germany's engineering dominance. Germany has long been recognized for its engineering prowess, particularly in the automotive and manufacturing sectors. In the late 20th century, German firms like BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Bosch became benchmarks for quality and innovation. The U.S. automotive industry faced competitive pressures as German companies leveraged advanced engineering techniques and efficient manufacturing processes. In response, the U.S. sought to revamp its manufacturing strategies by adopting lean manufacturing practices and enhancing workforce skills. Recognizing the importance of maintaining a competitive edge in high-tech and precision industries, Marc Andreessen's insights on China's manufacturing dominance highlight a critical juncture for the future of technology and manufacturing in the United States. As we look ahead, several predictions can be made regarding the implications of this dominance and how the U.S. might respond. 1. Increased competition in key industries. China's lead in sectors like drones, electric vehicles, and robotics is expected to continue expanding. This competition will push U.S. companies to innovate rapidly. However, the gap in manufacturing capabilities could hinder American firms from scaling effectively, particularly in price-sensitive markets. 2. Supply chain vulnerabilities. The reliance on Chinese manufacturing for critical components, especially in defense and technology, will likely prompt the U.S. to reassess its supply chains. Expect a push for diversification away from China, potentially leading to a new wave of onshoring or nearshoring initiatives. This could result in increased investment in domestic manufacturing capabilities, particularly in semiconductor fabrication and clean energy technologies. 3. Policy shifts and government intervention. Andreessen's call for a coherent U.S. strategy suggests that government intervention will become more pronounced. Future administrations may implement policies aimed at bolstering domestic industries through subsidies, tax incentives, or tariffs on foreign imports. This strategic pivot could foster a more competitive environment for U.S. manufacturers, especially in emerging technologies. 4. Technological innovation and R&D focus. While China leads in manufacturing, the U.S. still possesses significant advantages in research and development, particularly in software and AI. This could lead to an emphasis on innovation incubators and public-private partnerships in tech aimed at closing the gap in manufacturing capabilities. The U.S. may prioritize funding for advanced manufacturing technologies, such as 3D printing and AI-driven automation. 5. Geopolitical tensions and trade policies. The ongoing competition with China will likely intensify geopolitical tensions. Expect more aggressive trade policies and potential restrictions on technology transfer to China. This could lead to a bifurcation in global supply chains, with countries aligning more closely with either the US or China based on trade and technology relations. 6. Consumer behavior and market dynamics. As China produces high-quality products at lower prices, American consumers may increasingly favor these goods, challenging U.S. manufacturers to compete on both quality and price. This could drive innovation in design and functionality in American products as companies strive to retain market share. 7. Focus on sustainability and green technology. With the global shift towards sustainability, U.S. manufacturers may leverage advancements in green technologies to differentiate themselves. As the Biden administration continues to push for climate initiatives, expect an increase in investment in sustainable manufacturing processes, potentially giving U.S. companies a competitive edge. 8. Collaborative international efforts. In response to China's dominance, there may be a rise in collaborations between the U.S. and its allies, particularly in Europe and Japan, to counterbalance China's influence. Such alliances could focus on sharing technology, harmonizing standards, and creating a unified front in manufacturing and innovation. Conclusion. The future landscape of manufacturing and technology will be shaped by the dynamics of competition between the U.S. and China. While challenges are evident, there are also significant opportunities for U.S. firms to innovate and adapt. A strategic focus on enhancing domestic manufacturing capabilities, fostering innovation, and navigating the complexities of global trade will be crucial in maintaining a competitive edge in the years to come.